Back locally in San Benito County tonight, we are still waiting on plenty of ballots. Right now, 23,000 votes are counted there, accounting for just over 64% of the registered voters. But pay attention to close races. We're told 5,200 ballots are still being processed in the county. In Monterey County, that number remains above 40,000, and candidates we've spoken with have shared a little anxiety but patience as election staff are still working away. KION's Josh Cristianto is live for us at election headquarters in Salinas. And so, Josh, when are we expecting that next batch? I know they talked about by the end of tomorrow.
Well, that's right, Aaron. First, it is just after 5 o'clock. You'd see a lot of the poll workers right now exiting the building to go home after a long day of processing. Now, there are still about 32,000 vote-by-mail ballots still waiting to be counted, as well as just under about 10,000 provisional and CVR, that's conditional voter registration ballots, also that still need to be processed. Now, elections officials say these ballots are mostly ballots received by the mail on Election Day or dropped off in a box or at a polling place on Election Day. Now, on that day when the polls closed Tuesday night, we noticed a slow rate of return for results, with only a few hundred or so getting released almost every hour. Election staff do insist this is not a sign of any discrepancies, rather it's just the rate of which they process the ballots. Now they've had an extra 2 days to churn out the results, more of which, like you said, Aaron, will be released tomorrow. That's what they're expecting, and they're also receiving ballots from other counties as well, and that takes time to process.
Let's say a voter lives in closer to San Benito County or closer to Santa Cruz County. That voter is allowed to leave their ballot in any qualified drop-off location throughout California. So maybe they were closer to Santa Cruz County and they dropped it off there. So now Santa Cruz County or any other county has to bring those ballots back to us. So those we have to also, take into account.
Now, it is important to note that here in the state of California, county elections have had weeks in advance to start counting ballots ever since early voting began at the start of last month. That's opposed to other states like Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, who were barred from counting early except until Election Day. Now, it's a matter of processing the new ballots received on Election Day or those received after that day that are still postmarked for November 3rd. Now, coming up tonight at 10:11, I'll be exploring whether there were any instances of voter fraud during the mail-in balloting process in our Tri-County area here. Reporting live in Salinas, Josh Cristianto, KION News Channel 546.